All right, hey friends, we've got some exciting news. Many of you have probably already heard, but we are starting in-person services this coming Sunday, June 21st at 10 a.m. back at North Shore Elementary. I'm joined here in this video with my good friend Nick. He's going to talk in just a second, but we want to just kind of set the tone of what you guys can expect when you come on Sunday morning, all right? So thank you for your input. A lot of people participated in the survey. That helped us a lot. We've really tried to take a collaborative approach to figure out the best way forward. And so a lot of our leaders have prayerfully helped make this decision. Nick's been a big part of that. And so Dr. Nick, tell us a little bit about the approach we're taking to starting back.
So, yeah, thanks for involving me in this process. It's something that a bunch of us have been thinking about, praying about, making sure that we're keeping the church at our, at best interest. Because I'm out in the community, out working in the medical world, it's something I'm keeping a really close eye on. I'm not an epidemiologist, but I do think that it's relevant to my practice. It's relevant to all of us, so we're keeping a close watch on it. What you'll see, I think, as we go forward with this is that this is a situation that's still very much in flux. Doctors, NIH, nobody really has it all figured out at this point. So we're trying to make sure that we're operating on the best information we've got. And you're going to see, and it may be frustrating at times, there may be things that you disagree with, but you're going to see that we're being really cautious with this. We're going to always be shading our decision making in this towards the more cautious recommendations. It may come out that some of this stuff is unnecessary. We may feel like we took unnecessary precautions to protect people's health, but I don't think we'll regret being too cautious. And even though it may create some barriers and it may make worship feel a little different, and there may be some things that we kind of have to, allow ourselves to take some liberty with mentally, I think that it'll be worthwhile for us to be a little bit more on the safe side. We did have the outdoor gathering. That was a big success, and it was great for people to see each other, but we're going to treat this differently because we know from seeing it over and over again in different communities and churches and worship gatherings that in-person gatherings are just different. So when we're all inside and we're all sharing the same air for an hour or more, we just have to be a lot more cautious with this. And so we hope that everybody's going to be really respectful of these recommendations, whether you agree with it, whether you think if you're the person that's benefiting from it or that you think you're the person that's really at risk. That's not really the issue. The issue is we're a church family. We want to take care of each other. We want to respect the people that really want to be safe. And so really all I give from the medical perspective is just that I believe that these actions that allow us to be more safe, I think they're important. We're doing the same thing in our clinics. We're trying to just be overly cautious just because we don't want to be at all responsible for anything bad to happen to anybody in our church body, and that's our priority. The other thing I'd say is that Jake and Alex and some of the other staff members have done a phenomenal job with this online stuff. And my recommendation from medical and just from a practical perspective is if you don't feel comfortable with what we're doing, if you don't want to, have to distance, if you don't want to have to think about wearing a mask, then continue to worship online. We've got a really cool platform. They're going to start doing live streaming. There's lots of options for people that feel like they're either part of an at-risk population or they feel like they don't like the kind of layout or the basic tenets of how we're going to do it in person. And if that's you, then just accept that this is a weird time, it's a short-term thing, and continue to worship online because we don't want people there that feel uncomfortable, feel like they're putting themselves at risk.
Awesome, that's good. Thanks for sharing, man. And listen, if you're sick, what do you want people to do, Nick?
Do not come.
Do not come.
You don't have to have a positive test to not come.
That's right. Let's all protect each other by making wise decisions. So here's the plan. And I just want to say, this is what we're starting with. And so what we're asking of you guys is grace, okay? We're asking you guys to be flexible. We're learning as we go. We're also asking you guys to be patient. We're not going to always get it right, and that's going to be okay. Just have some grace for us. We're going to have some grace for you guys. We'll figure this out together. And then finally, let's have the mentality of please being selfless. Some of these things might not directly affect you, but they're affecting other people. We do have at-risk members in our church. And so we're going to take steps to put others first. And so be flexible, be patient, and let's consider other people and we'll be all right. Okay, so on Sunday, you pull up to the building. Here's what you can expect. We're practicing 6 feet social distancing. We've got the chairs spread out. We're using the whole gym. The same amount of chairs we normally set up in half of the gym are now spread out over the whole gym. We turned the environment a little bit so that the stage is in the middle of the gym. It'll make more sense when you're there. I'm probably not describing this perfectly great, but we'll all come into the gym together. We'll be spread out, 6 feet social distancing. Okay, masks. That's a big question people have. Masks, are they required? They're not required, but they are strongly recommended. Our staff, our volunteers, our leadership, we're encouraging all of them to be wearing masks. You'll see me wear a mask all day, and when I get up to speak, I'll take it off, speak up at the stage, away from everybody, and then I'll put it back on when I'm done. So we would ask you to consider that. We're providing disposable masks for people who need them. Those will be available when you arrive. Okay, another thing that we're doing in the building is no contact. It's probably one of the biggest ones. We really wrestled that through a lot. We just felt like, at least for the time being, because once you start crossing certain lines, before you know it, everybody's just standing in a big circle. They're all hugging each other, glad to see each other. We love each other, but it's going to be tough. And so we're asking indoors, no contact. If you guys want to hug each other out in the parking lot, give a high five, man, go for it. You know, I'd even encourage you maybe before and after church, spend a little bit more of that time outside. The less time that we're in the building, the better. Okay, a couple more things that are important for you to know. No kids classes. We're worshiping together as one big church family in the gym. However, the large TV in the cafeteria will be live streaming our service. We'll have a few tables set up in there. We'll also have an area set up in there for nursing moms. And so if anybody feels like you need to slide out for a few minutes with your kids, or you just rather do the whole thing in there, it's available. The rest of us in the room, we're gonna have grace and understanding for squirmy kids. It's all right. I'm just excited to be around people. I don't mind a little extra movement and noise. It'll be great. And so we'll be patient. Listen, if your kid's screaming and crying, just slide out with them, calm them down, and come back in with us. All right, we're also not gonna have coffee or snacks right now. We're doing no printouts. And so if you wanted to keep up with what's going on, go online, sign up for our e-bulletin. You can follow us on social media. You won't miss anything if you're keeping your eyes on those things. For giving purposes, I would highly recommend, if you're a giver at our church, give online. Pretty much everybody's transitioned to that at this point. We will have the wood box out, but we're not going to leave pens or envelopes there. So bring your own pen and drop it in there if you need to do that. So those are some of the basic things that we're going to start with. We'll see what happens as we move down the road. We're praying that our area stays healthy and safe and progresses through the phases, and maybe things begin to shift more and more back to normal. We just don't know what to expect. We don't know what to expect. So we're trying to prepare to be as safe as we can while we're in the midst of this situation that we're in. All right? So we love you guys. We're looking forward to worshiping with you on Sunday. 10 a.m., North Shore Elementary. I'm excited to be in a room together, getting into God's Word, worshiping, praying together, and just seeing each other's faces. We love you, church family. We miss you, and we'll see you soon.